No shot. This is $90.
In this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can start a profitable Amazon business no matter how much money you have to start up. I personally started selling on Amazon with about $1,500, and since then I've sold over $3 million in my early 20s. So I'm going to show you the specifics behind all 3 business models, how to find products, how to get set up, and which is going to be the best for you in the long run. But without further ado, I'm just going to grab my wallet here. We're going to go hop in the car and see what products we can find.
All right, so we're walking into Goodwill. This is where I started pretty much everything for my Amazon business. I started by selling like $150,000 worth of books from literally Goodwills, thrift stores, stuff like that. I haven't done this in years. We're gonna go see if we can find some profitable books. Still very viable business as well, so let's go check it out. In 2018 at this point, so 5 years ago, I started college, needed a side hustle, right? I didn't wanna have the job, so I started literally just going to Goodwills like this, picking out books that seemed like they were maybe, you know, newer books, nonfiction, especially religious stuff. I was using Scout IQ, I'm gonna be using SellerAmp today probably, and literally just looking at the values of the books. Very small percentage of them are actually going to be worth reselling on Amazon. But the thing is, you're buying it for like $1 or $2, right? So you find one that's worth 20, 30 bucks. It's a huge ROI. It's a great way for me as a broke college kid to grow not a lot of money into 100,000 bucks in sales. I did like 30K in profit the first year, which was really cool. Obviously I was working hard for it, but super good way that I was able to grow that initial capital. It's literally just going to Goodwill's looking for books like this. I think they're charging like $2 here, which is a little bit more than I used to pay back in the day, but still plenty of stuff to be found. I'm scanning this one right here, and I noticed that like the used copies are going for like $9 right there. It's a pretty high sales rank. Usually I'm looking like under $1 million, and you know, ideally I'd sell for like 12 or plus dollars. This is at like $9, so I'd probably keep scanning here. Here's like a decent like a religious type book. It's probably a little bit too niche. Like there's not even an ISBN on there, so it's a more local thing. It looks like it's maybe like an LDS handbook or something there. Diet books is a one that I usually would skip as well. Get super popular for like 6 months, and then if they're on the thrift store shelves, that diet craze is over, right? I kind of got like a feel for like the types of covers that would do really well, like pretty clean cover art, that kind of stuff. This one sells decently well, but it's like $8. Some thrift stores will remove their books to sell online beforehand, so you can get like an idea of where they might be selling. Literally the other thing is just talking to the managers. So my local thrift stores, I would literally just get into the back room. I'd say, hey, like don't sort your books out, I'll go check up through them first. It'll save your team some work, and I'd help them sort it out a little bit based on genre as I was looking through it. So it's kind of a win-win for the thrift stores as well, seeing the books that no one else had seen yet. It's kind of a nugget for you guys if you're wanting to get into the book game. One time I found a collection of like nursing textbooks that had like just hit the shelves. One of the books that I scanned I bought for literally $1, and it was selling for like $350. So I made like almost $300 in profit after Amazon fees on that. Not a typical flip by any means, but super cool that you're able to find that kind of stuff. Thrifting is awesome. I found a photo scanner for $4. We flipped it for $450 one time. You can find some really good stuff at the thrift stores for super cheap. So you're wanting to get into Amazon, you've got like 500 to 1,000 bucks. You might not want to jump the gun and like make your own products and do wholesale, that kind of stuff. I would actually recommend just going to the thrift store, buying books like this. That's exactly what I did. I had about 1,500 bucks when I first started. This book, for example, I just kind of picked up off the shelf, scanned it, and it looks like it's going for like $850 in used condition. That's like the base here. And I believe we're buying this for $1. So this book actually is profitable. You know, you're only making $1 or $2, right? So it's not a home run by any means, but that book right there is a decent example. I was just going around scanning a ton of books. If you don't have a lot of money, but you got hustle, that's the way to do it. This is like a medical book. That's like a decent niche, right? Some of these that we've already found profitably are like, this one's politics. There's some religion in there. Like some niche romance can be pretty good as well. This one kind of stuck out to me because it's like kind of a sleek material. The branding's pretty good. And a lot of times that means that the book sold really well. Might be still some demand on Amazon for it. No shot. This is $90. Super not scripted, right? I found this book on the shelf just now, scanned the barcode, and it's selling for like literally $90 in used condition on Amazon. So we're gonna pick this up for $2, and we're gonna sell it for $87 on Amazon. That's a $60 profit. 4 hours working a decent job right now, right? One book. Found it down here with some other textbooks. So we're definitely gonna check these out, right? A lot of this is like kind of outdated. Who knows how old this digital photography book is down here. Usually not the best niche. Like, look at that camera. You think people are still buying this book? Probably not. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Seems like, you know, maybe on the older side over here, maybe like a Jeff Gordon book, kind of niche. See if we can figure, yeah, again, a couple bucks. But really only a couple % of these books you're gonna find are profitable. Typically I'll stay on like 1 million. So you wanna stay in like the 1 through 1 million best-selling books on Amazon. Let's see about this guy. Kind of stuck out to me because it's like a, you know, it's a bestseller. The cover's looking pretty clean, that kind of thing. Oh, it looks like it might actually be profitable. So 800K sales rank, so it's not the fastest seller, but it's going for like 12 bucks. We're gonna buy it for $1. It's gonna leave us with like, you know, $2, $2.50 profit after all said and done, shipping it in, all that good stuff. stuff. This game that I played a ton growing up, I was literally like nationally ranked at this game at one point. So it's super funny to see this back at the thrift store. And this one's not quite profitable, so we'll leave this one for another young fledgling gamer trying to get into Elder Scrolls. But yeah, super fun, little nostalgic box here for sure. This pile should make us about $80–90 in profit, so not too bad at all, right? This is like a $90 book on Amazon actually, which is kind of crazy. Yeah.
Well, hopefully there's a buyer out there that's gonna buy it, take it off your hands.
Yeah, they'll probably sell within 2 to 3 months, maybe 4 months. But thank you.
You guys have a great one.
Just stepped into Goodwill here, spent $8.38, picked up a few books here, and 15 minutes we spent in the Goodwill, so not too bad at all. This is like literally driving around in my car 3 days a week, 4 days a week. That's how I was able to take my first initial kind of $1,500 and turn it into a legit business, right? We're about to head into a Marshall's, a Ross, kind of leveling up the business a little bit, right? So once you're out of books, you can start spending more and more on products, because a lot of times you can buy multiple of the products. You can buy a $10 product, you're making another $10 on. Kind of hard to find $10 profits over and over again in books. But once you got some money, we're gonna go hit these Ross and Marshalls. It's a good kind of stepping stone to building a super legit Amazon business. Yeah, so we just found these shoes on the shelf here, right? So I'm gonna scan them with the SellerAmp app. So all I have to do is shake it, it'll pop up for me, and scan the barcode. I saw these are going for like $40 there. And then on Amazon, those same shoes are, let's see, about $70. So it's not like the greatest ROI in the world, but that's $11 profits, like literally the second pair of shoes I picked up off the shelf. These are another $12 in profit. So these are a 40% ROI in shoes. It's in size 9, black and white. So it's a pretty fast selling variation as well. So should have no problem selling those. When I'm in store scanning these products, I'm always gonna be using the SellerAmp app. It's gonna find the products on Amazon for you. It'll tell you how fast they're selling as well. So I just scan these here. It's telling me that these are only selling like 3 times a month. We'd have to buy them for $40. It's even like suggesting the cost I need to pay for it to be profitable. We would make $16 on it. It's only got 3 sales a month. On shoes, that's pretty bad. On shoes, I try to look for like 40% ROI, but when you factor in the returns, especially women's shoes, a lot of times they don't really know what shoe size they're wearing, so you can get some serious returns. So definitely bump up those profit, 40% ROI, I'd say. Now that we're here, I'm looking for just like popular brands. So like Blowfish, Malibu, never really heard of that, but Court Visions, they want $50 for it. We can see that they're going for like $60–65. So we'd have to buy these for like $31 on SellerAmp for us to make our profit. We'd lose like $5 a unit on that. Obviously, not all gonna be winners. If they were all winners, probably wouldn't be blue ocean as it is to be still selling on Amazon, right? So they want $15 on these. Sometimes if you get the right specialty style of slide or something like that, they can be pretty decent. Typically, a good rule of thumb when you're buying products is to buy it for about half of what you want to sell it for. With books, you're finding one product. With RA, retail arbitrage, we're doing in the store right now, buying stuff online, you can buy multiple. So right there, we've got 2 pairs of that exact same shoe that's both profitable. That's where doing arbitrage really starts to level up above books, is when you can kind of compound that knowledge instead of always treasure hunting for the next cheap item to flip. So there's a good shot that some of these lunch boxes might be a little bit more expensive than normal. You'll see, especially during Christmas, back to school, that kind of stuff, you'll see a lot of charts on SellerAmp where SellerAmp's dipping way down, which means that the sales are seriously spiking up. This, for example, is going for $23. It's like a 2,000 sales rank right now. They want $13 for this. We'd have to pay about $9 for it. So this is almost break even for us. But typically if Amazon's on it, it's gonna be a little bit too cheap for us to make profit as arbitrage sellers, but that's not always gonna be the case. They want $17 on this. You can see right here, the price is kind of jumping up into like the $35 range. A lot of the sales are like $28, but you have no problem getting a couple sales at $35. Yeah, this actually, we would buy this for sure, yeah. So after that's all said and done, it's a lunchbox. You shouldn't have too many returns problems. You're gonna make about $6, 36% ROI. These are selling for $52 on Amazon. Sales are dipping, around in price, but we're still going into back to school, so prices are gonna stay high. They want $25 for this backpack, and we're gonna make about, let's punch it in SellerAmp here. Every time we buy it for $25, we're gonna make $11.50 in profit here. So we've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those on the shelf too. So right there, that's another, $70 in profit. Take full advantage of that back to school season, and yeah, we'll be cooking decent profit there. Instead of watching Barbie, you can sell Barbies on Amazon as well, right? So with the new movie coming out, there's gonna be a lot of increased demand. So I definitely want to take a look at some of these Barbies here, especially if we can find a listing that Amazon's not on. We'd really be on the money here. So they want 5 for this, it's selling for 8. So we could go ahead and scan through some of this Barbie stuff here. There's a decent shot we might find some profitable stuff, especially with the movie. So I actually just bought like 100 of these Ken dolls directly from Amazon, and then I think I bought them for like $10. And then during Christmas season, when everyone was buying them, they were going for like 25, 30, $35. So that was a pretty cool flip as well. A while back, there was a Walmart secret clearance. I went around to like 10, 12 different Walmarts, went like 2 or 3 days straight, was just scanning secret clearance. And one of them was like a big Thomas and Friends set that I was able to make like 100% ROI on. I was buying it for like $30. It was selling for like 80 or $90. That was super cool. I went around filling up my car over and over again with Legos, Thomas and Friends, Barbies, that kind of stuff. It was a ton of fun. There's actually a video of that on my channel. we're gonna go ahead and hit up this Ross here. Really, we're just looking for like name brand products, anything that seems maybe underpriced, especially here. It's gonna list like the MSRP, so what it usually supposed to sell for. So if you see a big discrepancy in a good retail store brand, and this is really good, kind of a way to level up your business, right? Because you're buying the name brand products, you can buy multiple of the products, and it just requires a little bit more capital to do this than like reselling books like we were just doing. I did books for like 18 months. It was great, made a lot of money, but I could have made way more if I started hitting stores like this, doing it online, trying to sell name brand products. So I'm looking for products here. I just found this bowl set. I'm gonna scan it with the SellerAmp app, and when I pull this up, it looks like it's selling for about $22 on Amazon. We're buying it for $5 from Ross. On that, we're gonna make about $7.50 in profit. On Amazon, this is going for $31. So even though this is heavy in glass, there's still enough margin in there to make it worth, prepping it, boxing it up, $9. All said and done, we're gonna make about $8 profit per unit. And there's actually 2 of these on the shelf here, so there's another $16. Why aren't more people doing this? I haven't done this in years, and we've made what, like 150, $200 in potential profit so far. I think it's been like an hour and a half, maybe. I scanned this one trying to find something not profitable. We're gonna make $3 on it. Like, yes. Like, come on now. So I scanned this with the SellerAmp app. They want $12 for it. And over here on Amazon, that very same product's going for about $33. It's not a fast seller by any means, but I do see some sales on the SellerAmp chart down here. When you're kind of all said and done after shipping, all that good stuff, you're still gonna make about $6.50 in profit. Hunting for profits in unexpected places today, right? So let's check out this one here. So, oh, this one could actually be profitable. But it's on for $21. They want $8, so we're gonna make a few dollars profit selling that on Amazon. I actually run most of my business out of my house now doing online arbitrage. So we'll get into that a little bit, but the reason why retail arbitrage going into the stores is maybe not the best business model long term is because we had to get in the car and go to the store, right? So especially if you got a busy life, you might not be able to get to the stores during the hours that stores are open, right? So for me in college, I wanted to do arbitrage, but I had to be in class, I had to do homework, that kind of stuff during the day, and then at night I would hop on the computer and do online arbitrage, right? And you're not able to buy in quantity that you're usually able to. So we found some great items. I would have loved to buy like 100 of some of those, right? But we just simply can't. We're limited by what's on the shelf. With OA though, typically we can place order after order, buy as much inventory as we really need for those products. I really like doing that business model, and that's why I've been able to scale to $200,000 months just sitting from home, and I definitely would not be able to do that if I was going to stores. So usually I'd sell these for a profit, but I'm just gonna go ahead and drop these in a school supply donation box. We're just gonna go drop these off real quick. Okay, so we just spent half the day, 2 or 3 hours, maybe 4, going out to stores trying to find products to resell, right? And that's how I got my start on Amazon. But there's actually a way better way to do it, especially if you got a decent capital. So let's go ahead and break that down, because my business these days is probably 90% online arbitrage, which is the same thing, going into stores, scanning items, except we can do it all online. So you gotta have that laptop lifestyle business, right? Run it from wherever you really want.
So I wanted to show you an example of one of these online arbitrage products that you can sell on Amazon just by sourcing products from home, right? So here's an example of a cup. This was actually a super hot item last Christmas. There's a ton of Amazon sellers making thousands of dollars in profit. Literally was as simple as going out to Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever, grabbing some of these off the shelf and reselling them during Christmas time. It looks like you can still resell these exact same cups today, right? When I've got this listing pulled up over here, we can see according to SellerAmp, again, this is that tool we've been using in store all day. Now I like to use the Chrome extension to do even more sourcing when we're online. You can also use the web app. When we've got that plugged in here, we can see that when we're paying $35 for these cups, right now they're selling for $71 on Amazon. So every time it sells, we're going to make about $18 profit. And the nice part about doing it online is you can typically buy as much as you really need versus in store where we had to be kind of limited. And when we go ahead and scroll down the SellerAmp page right here, we can go ahead and zoom out to the year-long view. And I like to do this just to make sure that my worst case scenario on an item is always going to be good. So just to prove to you guys that this item is profitable, I wouldn't recommend buying this exact item now that I've put it on YouTube. I just want to show you an example product, show you that this does really work. But we can see through the entire history of this item on the pink line up there, it's been selling for, at worst, it looks like about $60. We're at $60, we're making $9. And it seems like at best, it's sold up for upwards of $109 there. It's sold for $90 right there. And right now it's selling for about $70. Headed into Christmas time while I'm filming this video too, this is going to be super popular. There's going to be lots of people giving this as a gift. Maybe you've got one sitting on your desk right now and you're feeling pretty called out, but there's going to be a bunch of people buying this during Christmas. And so this is going to be another product that goes way up in price, goes way up in sales volume during Christmas. And so this is just one example of a product that you can buy and resell, name brand products all from home.
That's just one quick example for you guys, right? And you can kind of outsource things, right? That was a big draw for me as a business owner, not a hustler, right? I wanted to build a business that would scale and not just buy myself a job. That's a big thing that I think people end up doing as entrepreneurs. One thing I want to mention is you can use prep centers for an online arbitrage business. So for me, I ship all my products to a pretty small warehouse in Montana. I don't pay sales tax on those items. items. So sometimes it even saves me money. And when they actually go ahead and, you know, ship those products in, I never have to touch them. In fact, I haven't seen any of my products that I've sold in like 18 months, almost 2 years at this point. And the other side of the business that I love a lot is, you know, with retail arbitrage or going into store, it's really hard to hire, you know, an American that's in your city or a city across. You want to start scanning books for you and that kind of stuff. But I've actually been able to hire a virtual assistant team from the Philippines. And so they're able to source my products for me. And then I have a manager who actually looks at all the things they've found and says, okay, here's the ones that are good. Here's the ones that are not. Here's how much we want to buy of these. And then I've also outsourced literally someone just swiping my credit card for me online, right? They're punching the credit card numbers. They're purchasing those products for me, shipping it off to the prep center. At scale, I want to emphasize that that's not what your business is going to look like right away. Just want to cast a vision for what your business can look like after you take massive action. I've built a team that finds products, reviews the products, sends them to Amazon and sells them often before I even know what I'm making money on, right? If you're that guy or girl, you've got $200, $500, right? You got to go hustle. That's just a matter of fact, right? You're not going to be flipping houses anytime soon, right? So you need to go flip $1 books at the thrift store. If you have, you know, $500 to $1,000, maybe $1,500, you could kind of dip your toes into retail arbitrage. And especially if you don't have a lot of capital, I would recommend doing merchant fulfillment. We talked about that a little bit with the backpacks, right? That's shipping straight to customers, and you're going to kind of reduce the lag time in your business. If you ship products to Amazon, it's going to take a bit for that to happen. But if you ship products directly to the customers when it sells, you get your money immediately, and then you can immediately start flipping that money and making more money on that, right? So I would say you can start away with like $1,000, but if you want to be more comfortable, probably 2, 3, somewhere in that up to $10,000, right, is a really good range to start doing online arbitrage. Very simple, right? You need Keepa, you need SellerAmp. Those tools are both less than $20 a month, and that's all you need. Tons of the videos on my channel focus on that. Basically, I have a free encyclopedia, free course of knowledge on my actual YouTube page. You can go ahead and check all that information out. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Got a ton of value out of this detailed breakdown. If you did, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, kind of add some value back to my business for giving you some free value today. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to drop those down below as well. Super happy to answer those for you guys as you're getting started on your journey. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you next time.